As of this video recording, it will be 48 hours until Avengers Endgame is unleashed to the general population, and I'm looking forward to it, certainly, but it did get me thinking about what could take place in the movie. We all know that it's supposed to wrap up a storyline that started all the way back with Iron Man in 2008. There might be possible sacrifices of some of our beloved characters, such as Captain America, or Iron Man himself, or the Hulk, or who knows. And I think it's no stretch to say that a lot of our favorite characters who got dusted by Thanos' finger snap in Infinity War will probably be resurrected. In fact, I'd say it's a pretty safe bet because one of those characters I know will have a movie coming out just a couple of months after Endgame, so no big surprise there. So I'm sure there'll be plenty of joyful reunions and heartbreak going on in this movie. It did get me thinking about my Infinity Snap tag that I did last summer, in which I took 10 fictional characters from other universes and determined whether they survived the Infinity Snap or not. I'm gonna kind of do an inverse of that here. I'm calling it Infinity Snap Resurrection Edition. I think it's no surprise to anyone that the Infinity Stones will play some role in how the Avengers tried to undo what Thanos did in the previous movie. So here, I brought back my trusty gauntlet of a coin, heads, and tails. I'm gonna pick 10 characters from other fictional universes, movies, TV shows, literature, what have you. Except the kicker is, these characters are already dead. At some point in their respective narratives, they met a gruesome end. And heads up, there's gonna be spoilers for a few movies and television shows and things of that nature. You've been warned, I'm sorry. These things have been out for a while, you've had plenty of time to catch up on them. Not my fault. So when I flip the coin for each character, it'll determine whether these people get a surprise resurrection. So let's start things off with a villain, because I am an equal opportunity universe balancer, and I feel good guys and bad guys should get their fair share of justice. And who better to start things off with than Jim Moriarty from the BBC series Sherlock. Entertaining villain, thought several steps ahead, tried to outsmart Benedict Cumberbatch at every turn, met a gruesome end at his own hand, but somehow his legacy lived on well past his demise. Let's see though if the power of the Infinity Stones would resurrect Jim Moriarty. Guess what? Jim Moriarty is going to return to pester our beloved Baker Street Boys yet again. Next up is a character whose demise steered the course of his narrative pretty much throughout the whole thing. I'm talking about Dr. Malcolm Crowe from The Sixth Sense. Again, spoilers, Bruce Willis was a ghost the whole time. But what if, I don't know, something soul-based had a play in bringing his spirit back? Would it freak little Haley Joel Osment out to see Bruce Willis flesh and blood standing before him? Dr. Malcolm Crowe lives again. He and his wife are going to have a very, very awkward conversation. This is one that honestly, I sincerely hope would happen, but part of me feels there's going to be a bastardized version of this next week in Game of Thrones. Here's hoping Hodor gets resurrected in the nice way, not in the surprise, he's a White Walker now type of way, because that would just be cruel. Game of Thrones showrunners. Does Hodor live? Hodor! Yes! I'm so excited I dropped my coin. But it did land heads up. Hodor lives again. Oh, if only it were true. Next up, I know there's been a lot of fan discussion as to whether this character was actually alive or dead at the end of their story. I tend to lean more towards the idea that he ran a good course and just reached that final finish line with everything he got. I'm talking about Mr. Spike Spiegel from Cowboy Bebop. Do the fates bring back Spike Spiegel? Gonna keep carrying that weight, Spike. Let's get some of the ladies in here on this. Vesper Lynn from Casino Royale. I personally really liked Ava Green's portrayal of this character. It made sense that she would be kind of one of the first women that Bond would actually develop genuine emotions for, and why he becomes cold, detached, and womanizing in the rest of his career, losing her. Vesper, do you live again or do you stay dead? Get the martinis ready. Vesper lives. All right, one of my favorite characters from graphic novels, Marv, whose timeline in the Sin City storyline is all over the place, I know, but I like to think he met a very fitting end, calling out his executioners on not being able to electrocute him properly. But what if we undid that electrocution? What if, I don't know, time intervened and he was able to get off clean from killing Rutger Hauer and all those people? Would Marv be resurrected thanks to the magic of the Infinity Stones? Man, Marv is gonna live again, and he and Thanos will have a ginormous chin-off. Those are two very distinguished mugs. Time for another villain. One of my favorite villains from growing up, Walter Donovan, the American industrialist turned secret Nazi in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Ironically enough, he met his own type of dusting in that movie. Will the Infinity Stones save him where the Holy Grail did not? Jeez. Walter Donovan lives. You got your work cut out for you, Indy. Maybe I should have resurrected Elsa instead. This character has made a pretty living for herself in the spirit world, but what if circumstances dictated that Laura Palmer could be brought back to life? Technically, I think it kind of did in this most recent reiteration of Twin Peaks. Not entirely sure what happened there, but let's say for argument's sake that she is still dead and, I don't know, we were following a doppelganger or something in The Return, I don't know. Would Laura Palmer be able to be resurrected? Let's find out. Oh. Sorry, Laura. I'll see you again in another 25 years, probably. Like Hodor, this is one I'm hoping happens. John Wick's first dog. Nothing against his current dog, but that first little puppy, that adorable little puppy, deserves so much better than to get its head pounded in by Dickless Theon. Okay, Infinity Stones, do we bring back John Wick's first dog? Nuts! Damn it, that adorable pupper has to stay down. I'm actually genuinely bummed out by that. That dog was adorable. And this final one, I really enjoyed the ending they gave this character. And I know we're probably gonna see a new reinterpretation of him in the near future. 20th Century Fox's Wolverine, Logan, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. Is he resurrected after all the sacrifices and all of the self-realization he accomplished in his last couple of movies? Let's see. I'm actually okay with him staying dead. Logan sacrificing himself marked the true ending of the 20th Century Fox X-Men franchise for me. So to kind of bring him back would cheapen that whole affair. Anyways, that is Infinity Snap Resurrection Edition. Feel free to do some of your own lists. Who are some characters that you know to be dead in other fictional universes that you would want to see resurrected through magical Infinity Stone might? Let me know down below in the comments who you chose to resurrect. I'll be back in a couple of days with my thoughts on Avengers Endgame. Spoiler free as I can get at 3 a.m. in the morning because I'm going to see a midnight. Later, folks.